Okay. Okay. I need to do that. There we go. Slightly larger. Now you guys can actually see the game. I just gotta wait for the API to update, which it just did. Sweet. Post everything. We are live. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be playing the one, the only, Twitch SMP. And we're going to be talking about the news. And so you're like, what's the news? What do you mean, King? What do you mean by that? What is the news? The news. We will talk about that here in a second. Zinder, congrats on grabbing first on the Twitch side. And Brittany, welcome on into the YouTube side. You are indeed first over there as well. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Zinder, thanks for submitting your taxes. Let's see. I need a mute. Okay. Yo, how's it going, guys? Good to see you. Swifty, thank you for submitting your taxes. Appreciate it all. So to catch you guys up to speed who are not quite informed, well, today first let's go ahead and explain what we're doing, and then I'll do that. So we're digging this big hole. This is only a quarter of my Twitch SMP base. It's actually reached the point where the fog starts to show up when you're standing on the edge. So like that's how like deep this hole is, which is kind of crazy to me. That's gonna go all the way down to bedrock, so we've still got a little ways to go. If I get bored today and I'm like, okay, I don't want to end stream, but I do want to be done digging for the day, we could always come over here and do a little bit more water draining, because I've been taking my sweet time over there. But there's something that's been taking up a lot more of my time lately, and that has been King SMP. And so we're going to be talking about that today for the most part. So when you say spending your taxes, what does that mean? So on Twitch, we have this channel point thing. So after you watch for a certain amount of time on Twitch, it gives you channel points. And those points can be redeemed for different silly things on the stream. And one of those is like a watch streak. So anytime you watch my stream, you can mark it and my bot will remember. And so it says like how many streams they've been first to, how many streams they've been to in general. So like Swifty's been to 142 of my streams since I've implemented the tax system. So that's just a little bit about that. Let's see. All right. Probably around 147 or so. Probably. You've definitely been around a lot more than just that, but since, you know, the bot was implemented a little late, that's kind of how that goes. I've definitely been here more than 8. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Wait, why so massive? I wanted something that would remind me of your mom. Made every stream just sometimes forget taxes. That's fair. And yeah, I do believe you've been to... I think you've been to every stream, yeah. We should be getting the watch streak thing that has been like in testing for over a year now from Twitch. So you guys will actually be able to earn more channel points the more consecutive streams you guys watch once that releases. But we're still stuck waiting for a little bit longer on that one. Okay. How many have I gone to? You've been here for a lot of streams, Brittany. I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I know you've been here for a lot of them. You're here for almost every single one, at least for some point in time. And I appreciate you for that, seriously. It does mean a lot that you guys carve time out of your day so that I can be a part of it. That does mean a lot to me. Let's see. Okay, so we need to talk about King SMP, right? So my viewer joinable server, King SMP. As some of you know, there has been a lot of issues with the hosting. We started off on just Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and that's how we used to do it. I just played a world and I would invite you guys. That's how it started for the first 2 seasons. Season 0 lasted about like 1 month before we had to restart because the no rules thing was starting to get on my nerves and it wasn't sustainable. And then season 1 happened after that. We went a little more structured, but it was the same format. And it lasted for, I think, like 4 months or so. Maybe only 3. And, we decided that we were going to move to doing a Java and Bedrock world, because I like Java. That's where I've always really enjoyed playing Minecraft. There's nothing wrong with Bedrock Edition, but I really wanted to be able to play on Java Edition. There's just so much more we could do, especially moderation-wise. And so that's how we ended up on server hosts. In fact, I bought a server for about a year from Shockbyte for us to play on, and we did pretty good. It was a lot of fun, and it worked out pretty well up until about the end of season 2. That server lasted about a year. We did have to drag it through a couple of bleh points, you know. Unfortunately, you know, servers just kind of die out after summer anyway. But it worked out okay. And the following year, or the following season, season 3 came along, but I actually ended up getting really lucky, and I won an upgraded server from Shockbyte. So we were put on a brand new system, and I got that for, like, trying to remember how long I had that, but I had it for a while. And I loved it. It worked good up until about the end of that billing cycle again. And it didn't ever get better that time. It just kept getting progressively worse. Our server kept having issues. We were getting DDoS. We were having all sorts of issues with it. So after a while of dealing with that back and forth with Shockbyte and them not giving me what I needed, I believe we were about 2 years, maybe only 1.5 years into the server, and I made a move over to ViewRig hosting. And ViewRig was a great service provider for a while. They were cheaper, comparatively speaking, to what Shockbyte was charging for the amount of resources I was getting, but I was spending a little bit more there because I needed a little bit more from them in order to make it work. I'm digging a hole for a base. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. So, VRig was a great host for a while. I loved them. But, they have not responded to any of my requests to talk, and they have not upgraded my hosting like I requested. So we are parting ways from them as soon as all of my money from my account with them is drained, because the way they set it up, I was auto paying, so I have money in there for next month. So I gotta disable auto pay, and then we're moving into a new host, or alternatively we will be ending season 3 at that point. There's a poll in Discord if you're interested. I could open it up to everybody, but the problem is trying to take into account YouTube and Discord and Twitch, you know, all those individual communities. Some people are going to have multiple votes because of that. Some people don't even play, and so they really shouldn't have as heavy of a say in the voting process, because they didn't play ever. But, you know, we're going to be looking into some options there. So that's kind of like the little catch-up version of the story of the last, like, 4 years or so. King SMP has had a long history, and I could get a lot deeper into it. But I'm going to go ahead and catch up on chat first, and then we'll get back to this. So let's see. Have you been streaming every day? Just about. I stream 5 days a week right now, but I'm going to be doing 4 days a week soon. If I'm not here, it means I'm sick or busy, and that's completely and totally fair. barely ever played Java. Java's nice. It's been a little bit. How are we doing today? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Zach? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You, Shockbite? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Shockbite. Who's your favorite artist? Like, music artist? Right now, probably... It's in between Linkin Park and probably Linkin Park and Coldplay, if I had to guess. Old Coldplay, though, more specifically. What are you making? Are you just digging? I am digging a big hole for a base. So I've got this little quadrant here. We'll be doing the rest of the base at some point in time, but I wanted to start with just 1/4. Let's see. Whose base? What kind of base? My base. This is gonna be wild. Thank you. I think I'm gonna go for a bit. See you, King. See you, Brittany. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. It's gonna be a cool base or standard base, like a castle base. It's I think castles are cool, just for the record, but this base will be pretty cool. It's gonna be down to bedrock, so I gotta dig a big hole, and then we're going to build skyscrapers in here, and then we're gonna put a dome, like a glass dome, over the top, and then we're going to flood over top of that glass dome so that it's like a city under the ocean. It's gonna be really cool. Let's see. Ever had that feeling where you want to play Minecraft but you don't want to play Minecraft? That sounds... Yeah, I get that a little bit. For me, that feeling usually hits when I'm just not feeling super creative, but if I log on, I'll start finding things for me to do. That's what I found. Minecraft itself is the inspiration. I don't need inspiration necessarily for Minecraft. I just let the surrounding area kind of inspire me and make me want to play more. Castles are cool, man. Skyscrapers awesome. Yeah, so skyscrapers are the plan. No clue if it'll look good or not, but you know, there's only one way to find out, and that's actually building it. So that's what we're gonna do. I have no clue if we'll actually ever get it done, because this is kind of where I'm going with some things. So, King SMP, that's my viewer joinable server. We play that Mondays and Fridays right now. If we end up going through with what's currently the popular vote, and that would be to have the season end in September, then I'm going to have to grind on King SMP pretty much every stream that I can. So it will likely mean... It'll mean a couple of things. I could drop Twitch SMP, which is what I'm playing right now. Come on. There we go. We could drop Twitch SMP, which would mean, like, okay, we're putting this on the back burner until we finish that. And then we just pick up Twitch SMP and play that almost exclusively for a couple of months to try to catch up until I'm ready to start another new series, which is something that we're going to talk about at some point in time. I'm just not ready to announce that yet. So we could be doing that basically from the end of, or the beginning of next week until September 19th, I guess. I would basically be doing just King SMP on stream and then trying to finish my base. That would be probably the best solution, but it does scare me a little bit because I would be basically taking 2 months off of Twitch SMP, and I don't know how long this server is gonna last. You know, this is in no way, shape, or form influenced by anything I've heard or haven't heard, because I've not heard anything about a release date for another season. But if I had to guess, this season will probably be ending November or December. That's just the vibe I'm getting. That being said, you know, does that mean, like, I probably won't be able to finish my build, is the truth. So how can I like speed run this a little bit more? Because I would basically have, let's see, so if we have August and September for King SMP, so that's 2 months to finish everything there. I've got probably like 6 or 7 months worth of project though. It's very unlikely that I actually get to finish everything that I want to finish there. But let's say I actually do. You know, that's great. Okay. Well, let's say Twitch SMP is still going by the end of September. Well, then that gives me October, November, December at most. 3 months. 3 months is not a very long time considering it's taken me this long to dig the hole. And I've only gotten 1/4 of it at this point. So we're gonna have to rethink the plan a little bit, maybe. That might look like saying, okay, maybe we shrink down the next couple of skyscrapers. So we only do some of them as tall as I want. And then, you know, really just focus down on getting the dome put in. And then just filling in the dome with whatever I can. Kind of panic building for the last couple of days. That's a very big possibility. Alternatives are, you know, begging some of my friends who are on the SMP to come online and just dig with me in those last couple of months. Or beg to use a World Eater so that I can really focus on building in this quadrant while the World Eater's going back and forth. And then just hope that that works out in my favor. But the chances of that all working out is just not really in my favor, you know? Unfortunately, there's just not a ton of time for... there's just not a lot of time for this. So I've got to chop and choose, and I really do want to finish my King SMP base. I've got a bigger time investment there than I do anywhere else. So it's more important to me to finish that. Hello. Oh.
Hello.
How's it going?
Tired.
I felt that.
I haven't slept like a full night in probably about like 2 weeks.
Dude. That's terrible.
Like I woke up at, I was planning to wake up at 7 today, but I woke up at 3 in the morning instead.
Oof. That's...
Maybe I'll wake up on time today.
I hope so, for your sake.
Yeah. You want to get into groove?
Yeah, we can do a group.
We're actively going away from each other. I'll make one.
So yeah, that's kind of like the main things about it. Twitch SMP is kind of a time sink.
Wow,
so
it's
is
a
Twitch SMP, so is King
No
SMP.
way.
It's a troublesome spot.
So you were talking about King SMP.
Yeah.
Now, personally, what I voted was December, but that's because that was my first thought. But when I started to think about it, it's probably better that I think September is kind of better option. Because you were talking about, like, your plan. I was like, that's a good plan. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if we're theoretically saving up for a big, like, hardware, it's not best to be spending money on a server host that's actively not talking to you, that you could be investing into the server.
Well, that's the thing. If I do continue, I'm going to be moving hosts regardless, because I just can't deal with the one that we've
Well,
got.
but still, it's gonna cost more money, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's gonna cost me like $80 though. So like when you're talking 80 versus 3,000, it's not like it's a huge chunk of change, but it is still money, like, you know. So it's like, obviously, I don't want to spend that money if I can avoid it, because I can put that towards the server, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. Hello, Coral. Welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes 130 times. Jeez, thank you. But yeah, I'm curious. What was your first instinct was to say December? Can I ask why?
I want you to finish your base so badly because it's such a cool base, and I was like, I don't think you can get it done before September. I'm gonna be honest.
I seriously doubt I can.
If you really grind it, you might be able to. But let's be honest, it's gonna be kind of a lot of projects left.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying if you finish it by September, it's not gonna be what it could be.
Yeah, I'm thinking what will very likely happen is if we do it, I'm going to be enlisting a lot of help. So there's probably gonna be like. Probably.
Honestly, what I think could be kind of funny is you end in September, but you kind of keep going with a base. So maybe even like not even doing King SMP, but maybe as the side series to Twitch SMP because it kind of get tiring playing Twitch SMP.
Yeah.
Maybe like doing streams where you build the base, even if it's just in like creative playtesting, just finishing up, just to say, oh yeah, I finished it. Even though it wasn't a King SMP, just to say it's finished, you know?
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind, but I don't know. I definitely want to finish at some point, like all of my bases, because most of them, if not all of them, weren't ever like video, fully realized.
That'd be a cool video.
Yeah.
I finished my bases. Would be a banger video.
But it is like one of those things, kind of like, I don't know. I don't. Oh, dang.
I hate these holes that are everywhere.
I think you just need to start watching your step. Like, don't dig straight down.
Well, I was kind of on half a heart there, so yeah.
You need me to come get you?
No, I think I have this one. I just need to get my boat out there.
Okay. Hello, Panda. Hello, Mountain Fear. Thank you for submitting your taxes.
But
Appreciate it.
I feel like there needs to be, if we don't have King SMP, I feel like there needs to be something other than Twitch SMP, even if it's just like one day out of the week. I feel like it's gonna be very repetitive if we just do, because imagine every stream is just this, just digging or us doing water. I feel like that can get, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fun because I love Twitch SMP, but I feel like after a while that can kind of get just a little bit like repetitive, and it's not gonna be fun for some people to watch. Obviously, I'm gonna have fun watching it nonetheless, but
yeah. Well, the thing is, if we take so much time off of Twitch SMP, I gotta put a lot of time on it in order to get stuff done. It's just dependent on like. Genuinely speaking,
saying, like,
until we know how long Twitch SMP is gonna last, I can't promise anything. But
my opinion, I don't even know if it's gonna make it to September. My personal opinion.
I don't know. I think it's gonna make it, but
it's gonna make it, but not gonna make it well.
I think the problem is just truly the fact that we're doing some events kind of later into the season. You know the one I'm talking about. That one isn't supposed to happen that close to the end necessarily.
Yeah, normally it's like I could probably do a graph of how I could do a graph and probably calculate when the server is gonna end based on that event.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that difficult actually. Hold up, let me do some math. Now when I say this, chat, if anyone is actually interested in Twitch SMP, this is my personal guess. This is not saying, oh yeah, Twitch SMP is going to end on this exact date. That's not exactly what I'm saying. It's just, I'm saying, like, might end around this time.
I still be vibing. Nice. That's good. Yeah, I the other thing to consider also is like if I do end King SMP, I gotta consider like what are we doing for community days? Because like I used to, that's what King SMP was about, was hanging out with the community. So we're probably gonna have to go into doing more MCC Island, more Hypixel, and things of that nature. That's another consideration as well. If we are going to do this, and let's say hypothetically I'm in MCC Rising, that throws another wrench into the plan where I've got to do practice streams on top of grinding King SMP, and you're probably gonna get double stream days more than likely for that reason. That's gonna be interesting. But that's all hypothetical. I don't know if we don't even know if there's MCC Rising this year, but
We don't. We're assuming though, because what we're seeing, but
there's a pretty strong guess.
high chance.
Let's see. But yeah, without King SMP, I gotta find a community day kind of deal.
According to my statistics, Twitch SMP has about 3 months left, give or take.
Okay. So it could end in October.
Yeah, I think it might. If it is 3 months left, it might make it to Halloween. It's either gonna make it to Halloween and then it's gonna be done, or it's not gonna make it to Halloween. It's gonna end right before Halloween. One of the two. They either do Halloween or they don't do Halloween. They're not just gonna skip past it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if
Halloween
it makes
would be
it to
funny.
Halloween, then it's gonna have to end like probably a couple
Right
weeks after, because it wouldn't make sense to me anyway to do an event and then end right after that, because that's like your chance to bring players back, finish things.
I think there's a high chance that they're probably going to end it a few weeks before Halloween, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe even have Halloween as kind of like a closer type of event. Or like sometime around Halloween being like a type of closer event.
Yeah, I don't have any indication on any way.
In my opinion, I really hope they don't have a event. If they have an event for Halloween, they better not do it on Halloween night. I think they're smarter than to do that. But
Yeah, that would.
do you know how many of people aren't gonna be there? Especially for like streamers, like especially for the family-friendly streamers, like people who mainly have an audience of children. Like most of our audience just isn't gonna be there.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was gonna say audience-wise, like yeah, you're right, but as like creators are still gonna be there. But I mean, I probably wouldn't. Creators. Honestly, I would probably be playing a horror game, so.
Well, no, the funny thing is I'm not gonna be there because Stranger Things Volume 1 comes out.
Let's see.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure Stranger Things Volume 1 comes out for the new season on October 31st, so I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna be in my bedroom watching the episodes over and over again.
I'd say that's reasonable.
This is a small rant, but they put all of the let me pull this up.
I was gonna say that doing more Hypixel MCCI would be a good replacement. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts too. It would be at least suitable enough. What exactly is MCC Rising? Is it just MCC but for smaller creators? Yes.
On important dates.
It's sort of. So for small creators. Hang on.
1, which is the first 4 episodes, is on November 26th. Volume 2's on Christmas, and then the finale's on New Year's Eve.
Dang.
So I'm gonna have a fun like holiday season because on all the days I'm just gonna be watching and then the worst part is each episode is gonna be predicted around like 2 hours.
Wow.
Like feature like films. Feature like film episodes. The finale's over 3 hours.
Why? I mean, like I get it, but like also like. Why choose those dates in specific? Like, I mean, I would say...
Now, this is my theory. I'm thinking they're seeing how much of the population they control.
That's fair.
how much can they shut the world down if they release it? It's like Grand Theft Auto's coming out on a Tuesday. And so many, I think there's been at least like, I think the poll said like 40 million people are saying that they're gonna call in sick from work to play Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's insane
So
to
I
me.
think they're seeing how much of the world they can shut down literally because of video games coming out. I think it's gonna be so funny. Like the amount of people not working nowadays is gonna
So
be insane.
MCC
I love
Rising
that.
is
Just how much the
still ran by Nox
like
Crew
what was
or
it? The finale of
MCC.
Seinfeld came out. I'm not
But,
gonna spoil it because I can't spoil it because I haven't watched it. But when the night of the Seinfeld finale came out, there was the fastest ever hospital ride in LA history because the streets were empty because everyone was watching the last episode of Seinfeld.
That's
so
funny.
they got like from the hospital to like halfway across the town in like 7 minutes
Dang,
because nobody was on the streets.
that would've been fun to drive in, dude.
Yeah, streets were just empty because everyone was watching Seinfeld. It shows how much the world can
yeah,
shut down if
MCC
something
Rising
major
is
happening.
essentially
And I find it interesting.
ran by Nox Crew still, so it's
I
like
find it
MCC,
interesting.
but it's an apply to join thing for smaller
like that
creators who aren't in the official MCC lineup is the rule. So technically somebody with 1 million
Most of
subscribers
Disneyland,
who
I don't
isn't
think
already
Disneyland
in,
ever formally shut down.
anyone who's
but
not already in
Disneyland
the
up on
event
updates
can
kind of
apply to
thing,
join.
interesting. I love
It's a pretty big deal for a lot of people, and this is going to be their 4th one if it happens, which it seems very likely that's going to be on. So we'll see. How small? There's no number too small or too big. It's all about the content you produce and the lineup that you make. If they deem your lineup to seem entertaining enough, then it's good, you know? I've learned a lot because I've applied twice. The first application was good. We had the chemistry, but we didn't show it off very well. The second lineup we did, we had a lot of opportunities, and I don't think we showcased our talent very well. It just, we weren't quite where we needed to be, in my opinion, on the second one. But I think this year could be the year. Who knows? We'll see. I don't have a team yet, but I'm working on it. How deep does a hole have to be considered a hole? If you dig half a hole, is it still a whole hole? Why is life so complicated? I'd say a hole is determined in completeness by how deep you intend it to be. When you declare that you're intending to make a 6-foot hole, if you only dig 3 feet, it's half a hole. But if it's 6 foot deep and you declared it to be 6 foot deep, then it's a whole hole.
Mm.
That is an interesting thought, though, Nathan. I like it. Skyscraper's awesome. Yes, we are working on well, we're going to be building skyscrapers in here eventually. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. Chat was asking questions.
So, what are your thoughts on shelves, you know?
I haven't gotten a chance to look at them. I'm mad because they keep putting these features on Bedrock only, and we're not even getting one snapshot.
Like, why are they, where's the hate on Jab? No, normally we switch them up. Normally we trade, okay? Minecraft. Listen, we share. You give some to Bedrock, you give some to Job.
I thought like, oh, hey, they're gonna just, you know, next snapshot will have the copper golem. It'll have
we still
whatever Bedrock has. But no, we haven't gotten one thing from them. Not for this new update. We're still waiting.
Minecraft. We share. Sharing is caring.
The only explanation I have, honestly, is they may have done like Java might have more of the features ready for testing than what's been announced, and so they're waiting for all those announcements to hit because Bedrock is behind schedule. And so that's the only thing I can guess on, really, but I could be wrong. It may just be Java's having a summer break right now, and then the Bedrock team will get their summer break in a couple of weeks when the Java team kicks in. I don't know, well, not even multi-platform, multi-version developing is weird. It's such a weird concept. Very good explanation, thank you. And here's your hydrate.
Yeah, if I ever make a game like that, I don't think multi-version is something I want to do. Like with Omnia, you could do something multi-version, but I really don't think you should. Because I don't know. I don't even know what the reason was that Minecraft ended up doing multi-version, because I don't really see a reason to have all these separate different things, really.
The reason that we got so many different versions was just due to lack of vision, basically. Pocket Edition was meant to run on phones, so they built it off of a different code base than what Notch built Minecraft off of, which was Java. He just wanted to build a cool game. And, you know, in the early 2000s, really mid 2000s when he started developing it, it was, Java was the cool language. So it made a lot of sense to make Java Edition what it was. But when it came to developing a phone app, it was like, we don't use Java. We're gonna use, I think they use C++. And so that's what all Bedrock was built off of, was C++, because it's a better language for games. But then you also had Console Edition, which was, I think that one was also C++, but I could be wrong. And so converting worlds between Console Edition and Bedrock Edition was really easy. So that was kind of like how those two editions got merged. Also because Bedrock Edition was going to consoles anyway. So it was really easy for them to just kind of scoot everything into one family there. So now you're just at the point where Java is Java and Bedrock is C++, and they can't mix. So we're stuck developing two versions of the game until either one dies or we can bridge the gap with a tool like Geyser, but we need something that's more official in order for it to actually stick. And I don't know if we'll ever get a tool like that.
To be fair, it is good that we are separated. Because could you imagine buying maps on like Java Edition?
I don't think we would ever get that, just because Java is well known for the fact that we go to like Minecraft, Planet Minecraft, and then we're good. Actually, I don't think Planet Minecraft exists.
If we hadn't separated, I think honestly there wouldn't be a marketplace, and it would have been more of a thing where Bedrock would have even had a feature where they could. There might have even been like an official Minecraft feature, kind of like modding, like tool kind of thing to download maps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been cool.
Java is going to get, at some point in time, it's going to get a lot more modding tools. Blockbench is one of them. But
I love Blockbench.
Yeah, Java's going to be getting a lot of that kind of stuff because, I mean, you can, if you want just like a taste of what that might look like for an officially supported modding tool, look at like MCreator. That is, it's not official by any means, but it is a great modding tool, and it's very simple, and it's built to be very much like Blockbench, in my opinion. So it's very apparent that that could be the future of what Java Edition does, is just continue building the modding tools. And that'll be interesting. I don't think it'll ever replace, updates. I think a lot of people were really concerned about that back in the day, was Mojang just relying on modders to create updates, but I doubt that's going to be the case because Bedrock can't survive without updates, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Java could.
Yeah. It could survive. For a long time, I think we could, because a lot of games, what happens is they stop getting updates, and then modders update for a little bit, But there's just a point where modders can keep on making mods for as long as they want, but eventually the community just dies because it's been so long since the last, like, update.
Yeah. It's like,
Example of that's Hogwarts Legacy, honestly. Hogwarts Legacy's been like that. It's got mods, but it's not got updates.
yeah, I think for Java Edition in specific, we could definitely survive off of the community updating the game for probably, like, I would argue if you could get like a mainline branch, like one universally quote-unquote accepted group of modders who are like developing their own updates, you could have the game last for like 10 years after the fact. But if the community wouldn't band behind those people, then there's like zero chance that it lasts very long. You can keep them.
Yeah.
Use hard mode, it's more challenging. I believe we are on hard mode. But we're not on hardcore, if that's what you're saying. And just because it's harder doesn't make it better. Like, that's the other
Twitch
thing.
SMP hardcore would be so bad. I don't think, personally, if Twitch SMP was hardcore, we wouldn't last a week.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the death leaderboards? I'm probably topping that thing right now.
I don't know, man. It's fun squid.
5 deaths away from number 3.
Uh-oh.
That shouldn't be an achievement.
Were you lagging too?
Lag.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
It's because we still use Shockbite servers.
Yeah.
For some reason. We'll probably switch. In my opinion, we probably switch next season.
Oh, we 100% are. There's just no way we don't.
Dash never said anything that they would just take switch. But
I know Dash is pretty fed up with them.
Yeah. She hasn't said anything about it, but
well, when you're trying to host a group of creators, it doesn't. This is in no way Dash's fault, but it looks really bad when your server doesn't work. And I know it's not Dash's fault because I own servers, so like I'm fully aware of that. But other people probably see it and they probably, you know, I'd like to believe everybody on Twitch SMP is smart enough to know it's not her fault. But not everybody's smart, so you know, there's a possibility that people are over here blaming, and it's like, that's not her fault at all. And so, you know, when you got a server host that's just not doing their job, it makes you not want to work with them anymore. And so Shockbite has really soured things, in my opinion. I thought about going back and trying them after they updated their console, because they supposedly updated it to make it faster and better. But seeing how bad they've been this time around too, it makes me go, yeah, I'm not messing with it. If we go to any new hosting for King SMP until like December, it's gonna be Modrinth. But it's, like I said, it's only going to be till December because it's like $20 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where Twitch SMP might go.
I've been wanting to buy one. And I've been thinking about buying just a small little one. Small little one for the build team for Hero Studio. Because we've all been building on single player worlds on like bigger projects, and I think it'd be really cool to have like a together server we were all kind of storing stuff.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Probably. Yeah, but it's not like, oh yeah, it needs to be like top of the line. I don't even know if spend $10 on it.
The hardest
thing,
as
long as it handles one player at a time, I'd say that's all I need.
Yeah. I would say the hardest thing about that is if you're like wanting Axiom, it's really hard to get a multiplayer copy of it. But Like it's expensive,
Wait,
if I remember
I
correctly.
learned how to edit mods the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's good.
ChatGPT helped me out.
Yeah, I've cracked a
'Cause
couple
there's-
of plugins. I've not done mods though.
Now, this isn't me saying something unethical. It's just me talking about something unethical. There's a difference between saying something unethical and talking about something unethical.
There is, yeah.
There may or may not be a singular line of code
Yeah.
in Axiom, the Axiom mod, the Axiom server plugin, that allows you not to use it with a license. And that line may or may not be very easy to delete.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that from me though.
I've ran into that with plugins. Not that I've done it, but I could do it.
I was in a server that did it, that kind of let me kind of know about it, and I was like, oh, interesting. It is a bit difficult, I will say. It's not like, oh yeah, it's an easy task. Because you have to change the client side and you have to change the server side.
Yeah. So if anybody's wanting to use it on their client, they have to actually change it over and all that, but
Yeah.
still.
I was learning how to, because I wanted to make that. I was trying to make that stupid, like, thing where it calculated the. You guys were talking about the Lightmatica, like, one where it has to calculate, like, when you want, like, wooden fences, it calculates how many logs and stuff you need. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's kind of a good idea. But then I was trying to pitch it to ChatGPT, and it only made the code for the fences, because I used the fences as an example. It didn't realize that I just wanted, like, all of the wood stuff, and I didn't feel like explaining it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do this later. And when I say I'll do this later, I might forget about it and I might do it, who knows.
I do want to work on that because it is a cool idea, and I don't know. It's a mod that I actually would use, and client-side mods are kind of hard for me to think of sometimes. Like, I want to do one that stores the data from your ender chest, and it displays it on your, as a tooltip of, like, what's in there. Because they have that for shulker boxes, but that's because of the way it stores data. But with ender chests, it's a server side thing, and so you don't actually know what's in it in client side unless you open it. But if you open your ender chest, it should store the data somewhere. So I want to see if I can make it store the data into your into your mod settings, so that way whenever you open up your ender chest and like hover over it with your mouse, it'll actually show you what's in it. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to make, from my understanding, because you have to teach all of the... You have to tell the mod how to store the data and where to store it, and you get into some complicated stuff. But it's something I want to do, because it was a mod at one point. It's just the guy doesn't keep up with it anymore.
And I think if you did that, you'd have to make it compatible with shulkerbox tooltips. So if you had shulkers in your ender chest, you could see what's in the shulkers in your ender chest. Because that'd be so... Because, I mean, sure, you can see that there's shulkers in there. Like, if I have a shulker box full of, like, eggs, and I have a shulker box full of, like, I don't know, raw steak or something, I don't know. And then, like, dyed the same exact color and they don't have names. How do I know which one's my steak and how do I know which one's my eggs? It'd be cool if I could hover over.
It'd be nice to, like,
eggs, but...
almost give it, like, the bundle treatment where you can scroll through and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I might see if I can do something like that at some point. I don't know if I will, because it's a cool idea, but I don't know how much time I have legitimately. right now. I mean, when I beat Stardew Valley, which might be this week, it might be next week.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, we're close. But when we beat that, I might be able to have some extra time to work on some mods for just for some fun.
Oh, that was a big lag spike. Oh my, lost like 20 seconds of progress.
Dang. Yeah, your ping is pretty high right now.
Oh, my ping tower's fine.
Your tower for me
My
is
tower's
1.
fine. No one of my ping. Oh my goodness, it's at 2,000. It might be raining outside, honestly.
That
I think it
could do
might be. Which is weird though, because it was like 90 degrees earlier, but
Who
in this state,
knows?
anything can happen.
Yeah.
I think it was up to like, I think we had a heat index of about 108 today.
Ugh.
And currently, like, it's like 7 o'clock at night, but it's still 93 outside.
That's awful, dude. Ew.
And I have band camp this week as well, so I'm just out there watching like the 90 degrees. It's fun.
Nothing like heat conditioning, like, you know? It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. Luckily, we only have to march for half of it. That's the deal.
That's
We
good.
march half and then we play half. Because the other half about marching is making sure the music sounds good.
Yeah.
Because the music sounds bad, everything sounds bad. I'm gonna have fancy walking, but if the music sounds bad.
I mean, you just gotta walk a little faster if the music sounds bad. Don't even give them a chance to hear you. Just walk a little faster.
Yeah, it's been tiring. Like, it's so hot.
I bet.
Sweat. It's just like my clothes are just drenched in sweat every single time.
You remember me after my Spider-Man streams?
Sometimes, yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
I need to get around to finishing the first Spider-Man and buying Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna go Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, but then I was told, oh yeah, you need to play you need to play Miles Morales before you play Spider-Man 2, which technically I don't have to, because I was there for a lot of the Miles Morales streams, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm not gonna play this game.
Yeah, I mean, if you know what happens, you can kind of skip it. I mean, technically, you could skip the first one and just play the second. They do give you a recap at the beginning, but I don't know. It feels better to just play them all in order.
I don't know if I remember. The thing about Miles Morales is I don't remember a lot of it. It was a while ago.
That's true. It was like in November, was it, when I played that?
Let me do my magic checking. I can find anything at any time.
It may have been like December even.
I feel like it might have been October even. You have a playlist for it, probably. You have a playlist to every single new game that you play, so you definitely have
Yeah.
one.
It should be in like, it might just be Marvel Spider-Man is the playlist name.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Hope you're doing good. Have a good birthday.
Only 19? That can't be right. Have we only actually done 19 Spider-Man streams?
Probably. I don't know.
That kind of feels wrong, but...
We didn't really finish Spider-Man 2 in its entirety. I did most of it, but I didn't actually like 100% it on stream. I did the entire story, the main story, and then I
Okay, to be fair, when you play Spider-Man, you play Spider-Man. Like, it goes on for like a good 5 hours. November, yeah. November 21st was the first stream, and we finished like... We finished on December 4th. But I feel like we might have done like... I feel like we did like another stream somewhere. Could have sworn we did like 100% stream. I know this one says we got 100%, but could have sworn there was Yeah, there was. I knew it. There was another Miles Morales stream somewhere. I don't know when though. There was another one. We were in there though.
I don't think I finished that. Well, no, I did finish that one. Did I?
Uh,
I didn't get all
not
the
sure.
achievements on stream. I know
Yeah,
that.
I
'Cause
remember,
there was a couple that I just had to go
you
do.
got them at some point though.
Yeah, I finished them after stream.
That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Because we kept having a crashing issue, and then it was way too hot. So, like, I was having heat stroke in the middle of streams. And then, yeah, I just, like, yeah, we're good. We beat the story. We did most of the side stories, and the last couple of things aren't really even fun. They're just there to challenge you. So I just kind of wrapped up with that. And then Spider-Man 2, I didn't actually 100% even on stream. I did finish it, but I did that all off stream.
I remember a lot of Spider-Man 2, but I don't have context for anything.
Yeah.
So I can still play Spider-Man 2 because I don't have context for anything. I just have like random scenes. Like I don't know why anything's there. I just know that it's there.
It was honestly, that was a really good game. I enjoyed it. It felt nice to play.
Kind of excited for the third one. It's just like Beyond the Spider-Verse. There's a few directions they could go with it.
Yeah.
It's just which one are they gonna take?
Yeah, I hope they do a good job on it.
Like who are they gonna murder?
Yeah. Your mom.
I hope they don't.
I hope so
It'd be a
too. Your
weird
mom's
thing
very
to
nice, but you know,
Hmm.
somebody's gotta die.
Realistically, I guess this is kind of spoilers, but as long as you've made it past the first game, it's not, which a lot of people here should have. Okay, no, I'll say this: they gotta kill one of the two main characters. Like,
They could. It just depends. I don't want to spoil it, but at the end of the second game, there was a character introduced that could really throw in an interesting dynamic, and I don't know what they're gonna do necessarily with that.
oh, there's the one node, isn't he? One node.
The one nerd. There's a different nerd I'm thinking of. I won't say any more than
There's
that.
a lot of nodes in that
Yeah.
game.
It was a solid game, honestly, though. I'm excited for the next one.
Personally, unless I'm forgetting something, this year has kind of been a bad year for like story games like that. We've had a ton of like stream games, like Peak's been good, Lethal Company, not Lethal Company, Repo's been good. We've had a ton of good like kind of repetitive like games like that.
Yeah.
But as for like story games, we really haven't had a good year.
I think last year most of them already came out, so we're just gonna have to wait for sequels.
I was about to say the same for albums, but and then the new album came out at 6 in the morning the other day. Love me some new album content.
Yeah, I would love that. I would say by the time October, November rolls around, we'll have a better idea. Because that's when Game Awards season is, and some people save their games for like the last couple of months.
Yeah, this year's kind of been
Oh, there goes. There's the server. Alright, now we wait. Okay, I'm gonna check some things on the Discord while we wait for the server to come back up. Okay. Announcements. Didn't get to finish my sentence. I know. I just rudely cut you off. So, catch you guys up again, just because it is about that time. The King SMP, my viewer joinable server. We've discussed this a little bit. We're probably gonna be ending it, like, at least this season, for probably a long time. I didn't actually get to mention how long it's gonna be until the next season. I forgot to do that. When this season ends, there's a high likelihood that we're gonna have to wait probably about a year until the next season, which is like terrifying. I don't think people realize just how long a year is. But the good news is a lot of my friends have SMPs or are planning to make SMPs, so I can kind of send you guys their way when they're up. And then, you know, I'll always have mine come up whenever it does, and we'll do some fun things with it. Because my server is going to be a lot more unique to just the standard SMP experience. Okay, it's online now. So that is something that I just wanted to throw out there. We'll get there when we get there, though. There is still a lot to consider when it comes to the SMP. The SMP... What's the word I'm thinking of here? The SMP experience, I guess, for lack of a better word. Also, we're on our second layer down already. We're doing pretty good. Like, we're not doing amazing, necessarily. But, I mean, considering we're only an hour in and we're... how deep are we? We're about... 1 3/4 way down. I'd say we're doing pretty okay. Now, I mean, we still have a pretty long way to go for this layer. And theoretically, what we could do for the next few layers is instead of digging them this deep, just for the sake of actually getting the build done, I might dig them to, like, just down a deep slate for one of them, and then the other one dig it a little bit lower than that, and then the other one at a different height as well. And then we could do kind of like a quadrant tier city. So each quadrant is a little bit higher or lower, and so you can do different sized skyscrapers in there with different types of builds in each one. Based on the depth of how deep the build needs to be, I guess, you know. On the more shallow end, let's say that's our most shallow hole, we could do, like, some more flat-based builds that wouldn't be, like, super, super tall. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you. T getting me caught up. You're getting T? Nice. W. T is good. I had some tea earlier today, actually. Team. Okay, I got you. Okay. Not a big fan of tea? Really? Interesting. I love, like, a good old glass of sweet tea. And if it don't taste like it's diabetes in a cup, then it's not sweet enough. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Anyway, oh, what were we talking about? I forget. But yeah, there's a lot of projects I've got going on. So, I'm gonna be doing some planning for King SMP, I guess, this next couple of days, because it's looking like the overwhelming majority of people want the SMP to end in September. I think it's like an 80% majority right now. I was already considering that as my option that I was leaning towards anyway. But I wanted to see if anybody had some like good points that they were making about it ending in December. You know, I wanted to see if people had like a specific thing that was like, yes, I want to see this, I want to do that. I don't know if this is gonna have more in store for people wanting to finish their bases soon. I think a lot of people already quit for the most part. I don't think people are necessarily going to come back though for next season because they want the next season. But I think we'll have better player retention, so we'll see. I'm getting on just for this opinion. Oh boy. Okay, I'm here. What's up?
Creative.
Oh yeah, the creative world is also a
The
pretty.
creative server.
That
Pay
is.
for the server. I will pay for it.
I mean, if you got like an extra 3K just lying around, I will hook it up. But
yeah, I wish I did.
Yeah, me too.
I will be a hefty donator when
Well,
we start crowdfunding that thing.
I will say I haven't announced this yet, but I have done a little bit of crowdfunding planning. The more you donate, the more that will be given to you. Like, there's gonna be like in the server spawn, there's gonna be like a donator hall, and so your name will get put on the wall, and like a dollar amount will be assigned to it. You'll have a special tag in the lobbies so people can praise you. And if you give so much, then like there will be like lore around a character in the game or something.
You tell me there's gonna be a little lore around me.
There might be.
After I donate $1,000.
Like, you know how Kit does her membership thing for her hardcore world?
Yeah.
It might be like that for the server, where like you can run around.
Donate $1,000.
You gave $1,000, you're gonna get like a whole temple built around you, dude. Like, you'd probably have to be the one to design it, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna be the one building my temple, but.
You know, it just adds to the lore. It's the aura. I don't think
I'll build a temple. I have someone who's better at building temples than me. They might build it. Anyways, that's all I wanted to get on to say.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Back. But that's my main event.
So yeah, that is another thing about it. So the server costs $3,000 to build, but it's a one-time upfront cost instead of a $20 a month cost. And it gives us the ability to run a server, so an SMP like this. It gives us the ability to run a creative world, which would also cost an additional $20 a month if I were to do it the other way, so that would be $40 a month. Plus, it would give us the ability to run large-scale events, which can cost anywhere from like $60 to $100 a month just to run the server once a month like that, because you can't just buy a server for like 2 days. Most places don't do that. So you have to, you know, if you're doing a big event, you just have to make sure you have the server set aside for that. Plus being able to do longer term events, even that could be, you know, something that you do over the course of a week or a month or even a whole year as an experimental server. You know, there's plenty there. You can host small servers for your friends to play on. So if I want to do like a quick run, a short-term run for an SMP that's, you know, a gimmick, then that would be easy enough. If I want to spin up a server with some friends so that they can help me build something, we can do that, you know. If I'm doing a video with somebody, easy. I don't have to pay for it. I just own it. That's one of the really appealing things about owning a server for me. And like you just heard with SwiftDo, there is going to be some attempt at crowdfunding to a certain extent. So there's an intent to do some merchandise. So King SMP themed shirts. I've been told posters are something that you guys were interested in at one point in time. I've looked into possibly even doing like patches and buttons, like the little enamel pin buttons. Those are apparently really popular right now, and people might be interested in those. Stickers, you know, those kind of things. But all the proceeds for that would go into King SMP funding, and would hopefully lead to a better server for everybody. And I will say 3K is like, I love pins. There is this $90 pin set. Oh my goodness. But it's all the people in the live series. Oh, dude. That's cool. I will say I looked into doing like custom shaped and enamel pins, but they have like a minimum order quantity of like 250 if I remember correctly, which is just not feasible for what I'm doing. But the button pins are print on demand, and they're circular, but you can put whatever you want on them, so it's gonna be cool. Which is a ton of Hermitcraft people in it, and I want $90 isn't a bad deal for that, honestly. In all honesty, that is not bad. I'm trying to think of some other things that we might do for merch. Magnets was one that I saw. I just went through Fourth Wall and opened up some ideas. I wanted to make them cheaper options, and then some mid-tier options like shirts and stuff like that, you know. My goal is not to make is to try to make everything $50 or less. I don't want anybody to be completely and totally priced out of supporting the server in that way, and I don't want anybody to feel like they can't get what they want. We talked about 3D prints or stuff like that. I would like maybe a print or model the spawn. I would like to do that. The tough thing about 3D printing is color. I have an all black filament right now, which is the only color I can print in until that roll is out, basically. Well, I could technically print in another color. I think I have white somewhere. But the problem that I'm going to run into is, you know, in order for you to really see the detail and appreciate it, we need multiple colors. But a multicolor printer would cost more money. So if I get a job, which is the hope, which will help me pay off the server a little bit sooner, then I'm going to be buying a nicer printer that can print in 4 colors. And so I could look into seeing what colors would be best for a King SMP spawn or something like that, and then load in all those different filaments, like getting a brown, a black, a green, and I don't know. Maybe just do even red, yellow, blue, and green. You know, that would get you all the colors, technically speaking. And then I could just print everything with that. Unless, like, there's a build in specific that's like, oh man, this is, like, absolutely insane and I want it in more colors. It's like, okay, well, we need to set up a thing so that it has more color options. Could you imagine a 16-color 3D printer? That would be insane. Might be an option, though. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But yes, I do want to do those at some point. It's just right now that's definitely not feasible with what I've got. But it is something I want. I'm also intending to try to get the world download situation figured out a little bit more. I won't be able to give everybody a world download yet, just on demand. but I'm hoping to set up a Google Drive. So when this season ends, you guys will have access to the world file for Season 0. And there might be some merch associated with Season 0 as well. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm kind of thinking of doing like a pre-order situation, and maybe you can get a special limited edition merch for that. And then the month after that, there will be another pre-order thing for Season 1. And then the month after that, Season 2. And then to wrap that all up, there'll be a Season 3 after that. And then we'll be done with that kind of run. But I was thinking about maybe doing like tokens, because I can 3D print those easily, and then I was thinking about giving them like a gold or silver paint on them. Like even doing a spray paint over it. You know, it's gonna intentionally be kind of cheap, but it's something that's collectible, I guess. You know, it's something that not everybody will have when it's not something that everybody will get, that's for sure. Do MCCR winners get tokens? You know, I actually don't know. I feel like they do, but I could be wrong. They might. They might. Simps for soup. Simp for soups. Hello, welcome on in. I need to go repair my pick. Or both my picks. Let's go do that. But I do want to make like little coin token things that would be like limited run for that. I might actually start that earlier, right before King SMP Season 3 ends. Because the Season 1 anniversary is coming up on August 3rd. So if I hurry up, I could probably get something done sooner than that. So that's a possibility. And then, so Season 0 is coming up. Season 1 would be in September. And then Season 3, or Season 2 would be... When did Season 2 start? Was that like January 4th or something? Maybe? I don't remember. It was so long ago. Alright, let's run this for a little bit. I'm really curious if MCCR winners do get tokens now. I gotta Google this. Hang on. Do MCC Rising winners get tokens? That's MCC. What about MCC Rising? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that necessarily says that they do or they don't. So I don't know. Theoretically they do, but I could easily see it just being a thing of they don't. You know, I don't know. The winner, the person that wins may have to pay in order to get it shipped to them. And so it's one of those things you can't get it if you're a small creator, most of them don't make that kind of money, but some of them do. Some of them, you know, if they're winning and they're doing really good, sometimes sometimes they just gotta wait for that Twitch paycheck to hit, so that way they can pay for the token to come through, you know? If I were to play an MCC, I don't think my team would win. Just because the people I know and usually interact with, they're not... I've seen how well people do in other events. I don't know if I could compete with that. And usually it's all 4 of the team members on that team are that good, so it's really hard for me to say for sure if they could make it or not. If we could make it. They'd have to carry me is the thing. Oh no. King SMP is gonna be fun though. I'm excited for what I've got planned. Oh man, we're gonna have so much fun. At least I hope we are. It's gonna be a insane project though. I mean, to actually get that all running is gonna be insane because you're gonna. I mean, you guys will at least have a lot of content leading up to it about King SMP. Because basically, hang on. Basically, what will end up happening is, you'll get to start by seeing, like, all the content hitting. So it's like, oh, we're gonna build a PC today. It's like, wow, okay. You guys know I'm building a PC for King SMP. So I'm not gonna hide that. It's like, okay, that's coming up. That's cool. Then we're gonna be going like, oh, and then, you know, today we're gonna be working on the server spawn. So, you know, there's gonna be a whole stream about building and planning for that. And then, you know, you go from there and you just keep going until basically you have the whole server set up. I'm not necessarily gonna sit there and do like admin streams. I don't think that would be interesting, but maybe it would. I don't know. Some people probably would find that interesting. According to this wiki, MCCR winners do get winner tip points. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. I mean, I would like to win. I don't know if we could perform at a high enough level to do it. If we got into MCC Rising, I would probably end up grinding MCC every day. Just trying to practice to get good. But at the same time, like, I'm doing that every day on top of doing a King SMP stream every day as well. My poor body would be suffering as I just day in and day out grind Minecraft. But there's not a high likelihood I'm in MCC Rising. You know, that's all a theory. I've always wanted one of the shiny coins. It would be so cool to have it. That's for sure. Okay, gotta finish up this. I'm thinking about some coin designs now for King SMP. I think I could make them for like I could probably sell them for 5 if I had to guess. I don't know. I don't know how much the paint would cost in all honesty, but they'd be solid. They'd be solid plastic. So, you know, they're not going to be as cool to hold necessarily, but they won't break is the big thing. And then they're going to have the color. I just got to think about how each one would look in specific for each season's representative. I don't know if I could do it or not, though. I've got a couple of ideas. It'd have to be like keystone moments memorialized on the coin as like an outline, almost kind of like how I don't have a coin on my desk, but kind of like how you have you know, like a head on the coin. It would be kind of like that. You know, there's a heads and tails side, so you'd have like, for example, season 0 might be when they killed Phil the dog, so it would have Phil the dog on one side, and then it would have, I don't know, on the other side it might have like, my bird that got absolutely murdered by my friend in season 0. You know, that could be a thing. And then on the season 1 coin, it could be King's Peak on one side, and on the other side, it might just say King SMP season 1. That might be one thing. Instead, we do one moment on one side, and then the S, and then the number on the back as an option. I don't know. Interesting. That would be the biggest flex. It would be to get one of the like MCC coins. It'd be crazy. It'd be really cool. It'd be so cool. Hello, Mixty. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We are indeed digging today. I'm hoping to get down to like, I don't know. I'm not gonna set a goal necessarily. I'm just gonna dig until I don't feel like it anymore. I am thinking that we're gonna have to lower our expectations for how deep the hole goes. This side, I do think I could probably get down to bedrock, but the other sides, I'm gonna have to make them a little higher, just so I can actually finish them. That's kind of sad. Oh no. I mean, this space will still be kind of a fully realized vision, at least. It's just like, it's sad that it won't be... I think it might actually be cooler to have it multi-level, in all honesty. It adds some depth to everything. It has some height variation to it as well. I mean, I didn't want the ground to be completely flat anyway, but adding like a lot more height variation by making each quadrant a different level does in and of itself create height variation on top of the height variation. So that'll be interesting. There we go. And I need some water. I do like that this hole is getting bigger. That makes it a whole lot easier for me. The wider the hole, the less I have to dig. So, I'm all for it. And I mean, it's really getting close. I mean, that's only like, I don't know, 10 blocks down maybe? Not too bad. And with all the tuff around, it makes it really easy to get down. I do want to also look and see when the next round of ads are supposed to take place. Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. For the next round of ads, I'm going to take a break just so I can stand and move around a little bit. Just because I am kind of tired. I went to the doctor's today. I told you guys I would. But they really needed to do other tests in order to rule out other things before they can do the tests I want them to do. So, you know, they're not going to be able to fix me as soon as I'd like. But that's okay. I have to go back in a couple of weeks, though, and get tested for some more things. So, that'll be good. And I'll get results for this. So, hopefully they can just keep me on track. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Also, I have no clue, because I don't watch the numbers too closely, at least not while I'm live. But according to YouTube, I am almost monetized. I believe it said like I was 14 hours away. Which is 14 watch hours away. Which is absolutely crazy, because that might be this stream. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't keep an eye on those numbers. I don't know who's all watching, when, and for how long. But it's crazy to me. Okay. Oh, come on. Up. There we go. Leap. And I'm also going to take off this jacket because it's a little hot. Ooh. I don't know if you guys heard that. My shoulder popped. Slip that side off. There we go. All right. What we got? How are we looking? That is pretty deep. Technically speaking, I could probably stop here and it would be good, but I don't want to stop here. If we can go all the way, that would be best. Okay. Looks like a lot of this is gonna be. I'm not even gonna have to worry about digging once I finish this layer. It just really opens up here, doesn't it? Okay. Let's also just like dig this way and cut off a little portion. Make it a little bit quicker to go back and forth on. There. 50, thank you for submitting your taxes. Appreciate it. This side is pretty long. I didn't realize just how long it was. But that is okay. $43.25 hours watch time on that account. That's the thing. That's just that account. Oh. Ugh. I think one of the other cool bonuses about owning my own hardware for a server, so I keep going back to that, is being able to possibly run servers for my friends as well. 506.75 hours of watch time. Jeez, dude. 506.75 hours of watch time. Halfway to 1,000. Actually insane. Oh, that's why this is such a long way. Okay, I was like, how is it so long? Because we haven't made it to, like, part where it really starts shrinking. That would be most of why. 3 weeks of King. Yep. I'm curious. How long have I streamed? Because that makes me really curious. You guys have had way too much of me. August 2nd is when I started. We're just gonna update that board. Over the course of 1,451 days of streaming, which is how long I've streamed, that has been 4,108 hours and 17 minutes. Divide that by 24. That is 171 days of time streamed. Just about half a year. It's insane. That is just insane to me. I have a whole 3 weeks of King content. Yeah. That is actually an impressive amount of time. Really. Kind of crazy if you think about it, too. Hey. Alright. Let's get back to it, shall we? Everybody's here. Ah, man. That's a weird... Just thinking about all this weird stuff. I have been here for 12% of your total stream time. That's insane, actually. That is actually kind of insane. Huh. 12%. The weird thing to me is like... Okay, so we've streamed 4,108 hours in the last... Or during my whole career on Twitch. Now, if we go just from this year alone, I've streamed for a total of 418 hours and 38 minutes. Which means I've been... I stream so far, like, I guess I've streamed 10% of my career just in the last 7 months. Now, I mean, to be fair, I have reduced the number of hours I stream. We've been almost streaming for 4 years. I used to stream a lot more back in the day. Tech. His name is Tech now. Hello, Cat. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Craig. Craig is crazy. I actually kind of love that, though. I am now Craig. Do you need help with digging? Where I'm on a server that is whitelisted right now. So I can't, so unfortunately I can't accept any help on this one. But I do appreciate the offer. Definitely would take you up usually on that, just because digging is pain. Okay. I didn't realize it wasn't your server. Ah, you're all good. You're all good. For the most part, I'm thinking next week that's probably all we're gonna be playing is my server for the most part. I'm not. There might be some exception to that. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. Wow. I need to stop yawning. Jeez. Like, stretch. And then, like, hope that the blood actually gets to my brain. I don't know. Something, anything, really. That was something that happened today. Did I tell you? I didn't tell you guys at all, really, about my doctor visit, did I? I went to the doctor today, and, they were gonna do a blood draw, which is fine. I don't mind getting my blood drawn. It's not something I love, necessarily, but, I'm a psycho and I watch them stick the needle in. I don't know, I kind of enjoy it to some degree, I guess. Like, the process intrigues me, that's all. But they weren't, they were able to get blood out, but it took a little bit of effort. I mean, you know, they put their little tourniquet on you. And then, you know, if they can't get the blood out, they take it off. Well, she couldn't get the blood out with the tourniquet on. And then she took the tourniquet off and the blood still wasn't coming out. And I was like, uh-oh. You know, that's not good. You know, if you can't get blood through... If you can't get your blood drawn, that means there's no blood in there, or it's all stuck somewhere. So I start wiggling my feet, and that's when, like, after a couple of seconds of that, that's when the blood starts making its way back up. And I'm like, ah, I see. My blood wasn't circulating properly, I guess. And so, that fixed it, at least. Alright, no. I'm not gonna let you hit me. Not like that. I know my self-worth. There we go. Alright, keep going. I'm getting pinged, hang on. I have to look at that. There we go. Alright, let me go check that out really fast. Just to see. Make sure I'm okay. Or everybody else is okay, even. Okay. 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 We're good. We're still fine. You never know what you're gonna see on Discord, so I just always have to be safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hope so, because I don't know what I'm saying. King, you want to play a Coldplay song? I always want to play a Coldplay song. Why? Can I ask why? Coldplay is good though. I love Coldplay. Coldplay and just thinking about Coldplay recently. Okay. Any song in specific or just Coldplay? And this, I feel obligated to ask. This has nothing to do with the reason Coldplay is in the news lately, is it? Not that, you know, it's gonna stop me one way or another. I mean, I think it's funny. As awful of a thing as that is, in a terrible situation. Really funny. You know the Jumbotron song? I don't know what song they were playing. Do you know which one it was? I probably can play it, I don't know which song they were playing off the top of my head anyway. If I had to guess, it's probably a slower song. There's a song called the Jumbotron song. Oh, I don't know that one, no. That they played during that segment. Is that even on? Hang on. I'm assuming it's not by Coldplay, but they do a version of it. Because I don't see a Coldplay song by that title. But I don't know that one off the top of my head, no. I probably have heard it, I don't know. Maybe. That whole situation. I'm sorry, I can't I can't help but think about it. I so want to make that Walt Disney game. That's fair. I think it would be interesting. I'm so worried about the copyright. That's what I was gonna say. I don't know if copyright would fall into play there or not. I don't know what kind of protections are on it. especially on deceased people, especially deceased public figures. You know, that is one of those things. I can't say Disney in the way I want to make the game. Yes? Okay, I gotcha. You'd have to just call him Walt. You could never say the last name. So it's always like, don't let Walt get you. Don't do it. Don't let Walt get you. Be awful. Oh, it's E flat. Why is it E flat? Can I like transpose it up? I can't. Okay. Is there any lyrics to it? It doesn't look like it. All I've got are chords. I got a lyric. Oh, look at these two. That's. Oh yeah. That's funny. That's awful, but that's funny. Main thing is I can do it. Oh, the game? Yeah. But I will get a cease and desist letter, but I think it's that won't happen for a while. True. You might get a cease and desist, but I wonder, would they actually have any legal ground to stop you? I don't know. Yes, they would. Here's what I would do then. I would start with him as the concept. When you get a cease and desist, you use that as a bouncing pad for marketing. You know, you're gonna make a whole big deal about how Disney forced you to change stuff. And then you're gonna change it all away from that, but you'll still have the crowd that would have been there for it because they're like, well, it sucks that it's not the game we wanted. But it's still a cool concept and I won't play it. That might be the play. I don't know. It would suck though. Especially if you put a lot of time and effort into all the assets and then you get turned in with a cease and desist. The main issue is I so want it to use his voice. Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be the trouble of it. There's a lot of legal problems there. I'm just running and hearing a little boy came up to me one day. Oh, that's awful. That's terrible. It all started with a mouse. Like, that's terrible. Especially if you do some audio processing to the voice, so that it comes out like, because you could do like corrupted sound file kind of deal to it a little bit, so it glitches out and stuff. Oh, that'd be so fun. And I really can't do this, but I would want to. Yeah. That sounds like it would be so good. But I kind of... That definitely would probably fall within their intellectual property, right? So... You'd be kind of stuck, unfortunately, on that one. And the games start in like the normal show at Disney, and then the animatronic malfunctions, and that's when the game starts. Oh, yeah, you definitely couldn't do that, but that would be perfect. That would be so amazing. You want to talk about? I'm kind of like, I get why Disney hasn't done this, but a horror game set in the Disney theme park would be insane. I know exactly why they haven't done it, but it would be so cool. And unfortunately, I don't think you could ever do it, technically speaking. I don't know, like, is there a such thing as, like, when the can copyright run out on, like, an original layout, let's say? It's like after 100 years of a building being there, it becomes public domain. Is that a thing? I don't feel like it is, but... You know, theoretically, you could use, like, the original layout of a park after 100 years of it being there, but that's the thing, you're still on, what, 75 years right now for the original park, Disneyland? So, you'd have to wait an additional 25 years, and I don't know if that would still count or not. I don't know the legalities of buildings and parks and places like that. It's like, I mean, for example, like Spider-Man, they use a lot of buildings from the real world map, but I don't know how many of them are, you know, considered public domain to an extent. Like, the Empire State Building, for example, I believe, can be in any project because it is public domain. To an extent. It is within the public, and it is a widely recognizable icon. But it's also right there in the heart of New York City. I don't know, like, you know, for example... Now I gotta Google this. Like... Copyright to using Disney art within your project. Using Disney parks and IP in your projects, and a copyright and trademark overview. Using Disney theme parks, characters, and other intellectual property in your personal projects can raise significant copyright and trademark concerns. Disney is well known for fiercely protecting its IP, including titles, characters, music, and the overall look and feel of their parks. Original works. Copyright protects original works like films, books, and characters. Disney owns copyrights on its extensive portfolio of creative works, meaning you can't use them without permission. Characters and elements. Using Disney characters, logos, music, or other copyright elements in your project without permission is generally considered infringement, especially for commercial purposes. Fair use is a thing, but you wouldn't be able to claim that. Public domain, older Disney works might eventually enter the public domain. Branded park names. Disney has trademarked the names of its parks and attractions, and using them in a way that suggests sponsorships or endorsements without authorization is generally a bad idea. Disneyland's buildings are trademarked or trade disc. It protects their style and feel, so really as long as they renew those, you can't. Yeah. Reproducing park imagery, including logos, ride designs, and even overall aesthetic in a way that creates consumer confusion about the source of your product or service can institute trademark infringement. That's interesting. That is really, really, really interesting. I mean, you could make like a parody version of it, I guess. It's just different enough, but you'd still be running a risk even with that. Like, the problem is parodies are protected legally speaking, but they don't. There's not necessarily a legal line there of how to define parody versus copyright infringement, you know? That's been an ongoing thing. Yeah, but you can't even use a mouse. Yeah. Yeah, so if you did, like, for example, a parody of Disneyland, and you made everything just different enough but kept it similar, and then put a mouse in it, you'd be probably too far in there. But you could theoretically do, like, I don't know, I wouldn't do a rat. I would say you'd have to go. You'd have to be so different. Not incredibly different, but you'd have to be different enough. A hippo, yes. A hippo would be probably, it would be different enough and it wouldn't get you in trouble. Or you could even do like something a little more closely related, like a rabbit, or I wouldn't do a rabbit, never mind. I was gonna say you could do a rabbit, but that might also get you in trouble because Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is a very real thing, and that might still get you in trouble. I don't know. A rat, a hippo, theme park except hippo. There you go. Good evening and hello. How are you, man? How is today's building going? Waves. Hello, welcome on in, Abda. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We are digging, and it's going pretty good. We're just trying to get a little deeper today if we can, but we've got plenty more to go. So we'll see how everything goes eventually, I suppose. It's gonna be a long time before we finish this, but there's nothing more than me wanting to finish this like that. Once this build is done, I would be so happy. I do wonder. Yeah, that's the trouble with it. Because parody, technically speaking, would allow you to still use a mouse, but legally speaking, they would still absolutely wipe the floor with you in a legal battle, saying that you were intentionally infringing upon their intellectual properties, which is just, even if you were intentional about it being a parody, it would still be too close, I think. Trying to think of some ways you could get around it almost. don't... I do have an idea for how a horror game set at a theme park would go, though. Oh man, you could do some really crazy fun things with that. I don't know how I feel about it overall, but I kind of like it. I don't think I'd ever build the game, but I have like some ideas of how that could work. Because you could do you could have it all start with you going to the to like an on resort room. It's raining, it's night or whatever, and then like the power cuts out or something like that. And that's where it all starts. And then you have to like run, and eventually you get to like where the park actually is. You know, that's where they try to funnel everybody for safety reasons or whatever, because they can control the entrances and exits, but then it's worse there. According to ChatGPT, you're in your legal rights making a mouse-themed fantasy park. Okay. I wonder, as long as it is, like, different enough. Yeah, that would be the thing. I don't know if you could do a castle. That might be too much. If you did do a castle in the middle, it'd have to be a different style castle. Probably. But technically speaking, I think you could still call it Cinderella's Castle if you had a character in your game called Cinderella, who was very clearly not based off of Disney's Cinderella, but based off of the original fairy tale of Cinderella. You could probably get away with it. That's an idea and a half. I don't... I am in no way a lawyer. I just want to say that, guys. So don't take my legal thoughts or advice as actual fact, because it isn't. It's just me spitballing, okay? That's all. According to ChatGPT, as long as it looks different enough, yeah, you're fine. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I fully intended on there being like a parody of Disney in Omnia. I was not gonna make it horror based, so I'm not gonna infringe on your idea. Because I was actually gonna quite literally make it like Disney World. It's a whole planet dedicated to this one mega corporation that has a chokehold on the entertainment industry or something. And that's interesting. Really interesting. How do I join? Ralph, this server is not viewer joinable, but I do have a server you can join if you'd like. If you do !IP in the chat, it gets you all the information you need. Hello, Spicy. How are you, King? I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. Want to make a whole theme park? I think that's funny. I won't do much with it, but I just think that's funny to have. A little fun fact. Like in real life, you want to make a whole theme park in real life, in Minecraft, in like a game. Oh, I just have a plan for it. I gotcha. A plan and some branding. That's fair. I'm for that. That's a great idea. Much like a game, yes. Do it. I think that would be interesting, just like building a theme park environment and then setting up a player character that can run around it. You don't even have to set up a game mechanic for it necessarily, but you could if you wanted. Hello, Nightfall. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, I made a full theme park plan and branding that I just have. PC Gus IRL theme park win. Ayo. Now we're thinking. Now we're thinking. Yo, my number one spot, W. Maybe a theme park game where you can ride rides and do stuff, like that one Disney game back in the day. Yes, I do remember that. Kind of crazy. I would say the gameplay loop probably wouldn't be very effective there, but that's not terrible. Because you could always add elements to it. That's the fun thing. Disneyland Adventures, yes. I used to play that one. King, I want to make a game. Got any tips? Start small. So figure out what the most essential mechanics are for your game. So, in most games, that is simply you being able to walk around somewhere. That is the very base level mechanic of most games. Some games it might be just menu based where you're clicking certain things, and that's a base level mechanic as well. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to function. So it doesn't need animations, it doesn't need fancy assets. It can just be a cube that literally scoots forward 1 pixel at a time. Start with your smallest mechanics and work your way up from there. So, for Omnia, for example, I've not worked on it in a while, but that's all it is right now, is a game where you can walk around. There's a vehicle that you can ride that doesn't follow the laws of gravity right now, but it does exist, and you can fly around with that. You can do all sorts of things with it, and you can talk to 2 NPCs, but it has the very basics of it, and then I added some, I added some small features. So it was like, okay, so now that I can walk, I want to add a sprint feature. So I added sprinting. Actually, I don't think there's a sprint feature yet, but I did add a speed boost. So if you picked up a certain item and then ate it, it would give you a speed boost. So I added an item collection system. And then I added a visible inventory where you could then consume items. I also added a crafting system on top of that. And then I also added a status effect system for consuming items. I added a health system. I didn't add a death system, but there's a health system. You know, you just go one by one. You don't look at the whole picture, especially if you're making a very big game that's going to take years. But just look at one system at a time and say, hey, let's try to implement this. And then once you have all your systems and they're working in a basic state, then you can go through and upgrade them one by one and say, okay, how do I make this feel better? How do I integrate it into this thing? That's fair. I don't know where to start because it's a 2.5 dimension fighter. In that case, I would work on the movement. So I'm assuming it's probably based around like screens and stuff. So like setting up all your movement systems first. So there might be some tutorials on it even, but how do you get this little square go from this point to this point? And then once it goes over, does the camera move with it? Does it go off the screen and then it loads in the next scene? Figuring out some of that stuff and just making a very base demo there. And then after that, I would add like a basic combat system. So you take your cube and you walk over to the other guy, and when you're in a close enough range and you press a button, it does damage to the other guy and eventually it kills him. Then making it so that that other guy will also hit you. and slowly but surely you'll start building up this game, and as long as you can establish the gameplay loop, you can actually make a demo based off of just pixels. Like, it doesn't even have to be pretty. You just gotta say, this is a demo, but this is how the game feels to play it. And as long as your game isn't based around it looking pretty or sounding pretty, most of your assets can even be borrowed from other people. Like, I did a very terrible job at texturing for Omnia, and I will probably continue to do a terrible texturing job. But, I could probably, by the time it's done, even though it's not a pretty game by any means, and it won't be a pretty game for a very long time, I could probably get a publisher to sign off on it. But a game that's not that example, I watched a video very recently. There's a game called Fretless, and it's made by Rob Scallon and some of his friends. You guys might know who he is, you might not. But he's a really cool dude, and he really wanted this music-based game, and so they were working on it. And part of that game and what makes it so appealing is the art and the sounds of it all. It's a very interesting game just in the mechanics sense, but to help sell the mechanics, sometimes you do also need to have some pretty stuff going on with it as well. So, you know, there are two options there. I would look up Fretless and learn more about their game dev journey if you want to know more about that. It's a really interesting music, game. I don't know what to even call it. It's kind of like turn-based, kind of like, you know, how, like, you chain your own attacks, too. It's really interesting. It's a really cool game, actually. I almost thought about picking it up. But I did not. But it's an interesting game. Let's see, love that game? Yeah. Yeah, Disneyland Adventures was cool. And for, like, Swifty, for example, for your game, just a theme park game, that would be a really easy what is it called? It's like minimal viable product or something like that. So what is the absolute basics of this game to make it a quote-unquote product? But for you, it would just be like, okay, set up a basic walking system. And then most of it's actually just making the world look pretty for you. So making the world look good, and then, hang on, lagging. I am lagging really badly. I love my internet service provider. I love them so much. I love insert provider name here. They give me the best service ever. It's so great. It's so great. Okay, are we back now? Maybe? No? Still, okay, we're jumping up and down. We're jumping up and down. Got it. Come on. Come on. Please. We're at 20,000. Oh my goodness. We're sending 25,000 per second. Okay. Hey, we stable now? We doing good? We're back. Hello, guys. Sorry. Could not fix that to save my life. But yeah, for you, Swifty, the minimal viable product would be like being able to walk around, being able to interact with an NPC so that you could be teleported onto a ride, or that it would open up a gate so that you could walk up to the ride, and then having a basic track for a ride. It doesn't even have to look pretty necessarily, but that would be the big selling point, is it's an immersive world that feels pretty to walk around. At least that would be a big selling point for me, with it being a theme park simulator. But that would be like your minimum viable product, would be like just cubes and some basic models, you know? And then you could upgrade from there. Because once you have something physical, well, something that you can actually experience in front of you, it's falling apart again. Once you have something in front of you that's like, once you have something in front of you that you can actually experience, it's a whole lot easier to stay committed to the project. It's fair. Where to start? I started this project almost 10 years ago, and I want to finish it. That's fair. I would say, in that case, yeah, just absolutely start somewhere small, and then go from there. Okay, can we please? Please? Stop? Oh my goodness. I just want to play the game. Please. Come on. I am going to lose my mind. Alright, give me a second. How bad is it? It's bad. It's really bad. Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to do my best, but it's not working. It's just not working at all. Please stop buffering. Please stop buffering. Please stop. Please. Please. Oh my goodness, it's at 0. Why? Just why? Why? That's all I want to know. Why? What is Twitch getting, or what is YouTube getting? Hang on. I can't see the bit rate that YouTube is receiving. Why? Why can't you see that? That should be something they send. Okay. So if you're on YouTube, I don't see any issues. Well, that's good. I'm glad. That's good. On Twitch, it's like averaging out to 5,000, but it keeps dropping down. What vertical OBS plugin are you using? I'm using Atom. Atom Vertical and Atom Multi-Stream. King, I think your internet hates you. You should beg for forgiveness. I would love to. I would really love to, but they won't even let me. It just keeps dripping down to 0, and it's like, it's awful. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna log out of Minecraft. Sometimes this fixes it. I don't know why, but sometimes it does. Just watch this. Boop. Okay. I kid you not. It is literally working now. Why? I don't know. But it's working now. Okay. I'm gonna read your chats while it's working. Okay. It's dropping down again. It started to work, though. I started this project almost 10 years ago. I want to finish it. So for that, I would say definitely start. Just start somewhere. Anywhere is fine. And just go somewhere. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, I always revisit the drawing board. Be willing to add new ideas and try to set your scope early in the project if you can. But it's not a bad thing to have feature creep. I think a lot of people view it as a bad thing because it means your game will never be done. But it means you're passionate about something and you want to make it bigger and better than before. So long as all those features that you're adding are full and they add value to the game and they don't detract value to the game, then I think it's completely fine. Let's see. AT&T, no. Thank goodness, no. Not be as bad as Charter Spectrum. That's true. Charter and Spectrum are... Mine should be good, but it hates OBS randomly. And it does it on multiple computers within my network. It doesn't matter for how long you stream, it just randomly decides to dip down, and it's because they want to limit the packets for whatever reason. I just have to wait them out and prove that it's an important task, and I'm not giving up. Could it be GPU encoder crap? I don't think so, because I have tried to change encoder settings to CPU, and it doesn't seem to fix it either. When I used that, I had the same issue of built-in OBS wasn't working, but the vertical plugin was good. Interesting. See, I think it's either Twitch or it's my ISP. That's my understanding of it. Whether I don't know if it's just that Twitch is having issues receiving the packets, or if it's my ISP blocking the packets to Twitch. I don't know. Because I do send quite a lot to Twitch, to be fair. Like, I send a lot of packets. But there's no reason for them to be blocking it. It wouldn't make any sense. Let's see. After you said... Hang on. I need to finish reading your chats. What's the ETA on your game? I really want to play it, but I'm also struggling on the OST. For my game, there's not really an estimated time of arrival. It's going to be ready when it's ready. I wanted to have a demo ready for the end of this year, but that's just not going to happen at this point. I'm hoping to see something come out of it soon, though. It's just I've not had time to work on it lately, but I do want to work on it. It is a game I truly believe in. But yes, it's a big project is the problem. I mean, we're talking quite literally the largest project a solo developer could take on, and that is an open world RPG, first person FPS, I guess it's already first person, with new technologies that nobody's ever done before. I mean, we're talking AAA level stuff, but AAA studios don't push the bar anymore, so that's the problem with it. Let's see. After you said not knowing what Kit was up to last night, I just looked to see. I should ask, is she good? Her last streams were 6 days, 8 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months ago. That's a whole if I've seen one. Yes, she's good. She's just really busy these days. Life's a lot. So, some people put more priority on streaming than they do their personal lives, and I respect them for their drive. But I think I respect people who put more on their personal life than they do their online life, because it's really easy to just look at your streams and say, this is my escape, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of, for me to cope with things, and then they fall behind in the real world. But people who can look at it and say, no, the real world matters more to me right now, I should work on that, and step away from their stream, I respect them a lot. That's amazing. She is getting back into the swing of things, though. To be fair, on YouTube, I don't see any issues. King, I think your internet hates you. Shitbag for forgiveness. I use the same issue. I know it'll never be done. I do want to follow the stop killing games goals, meaning once multiplayer servers are perma down, I'm going to be adding local multiplayer and adding all DLC, and all DLC becomes free. I am all for that, yes. My game won't have any DLC if all goes to plan. And multiplayer will be all player hosted by default anyway. We're going to follow Minecraft example. So we won't have any server hosting for official support. But, my game is also, it's more sandboxy, I guess. So, it's not going to have the expectation that you play on our servers to progress. It's not like it's not PvP oriented, although you could PvP in it. But I do love that idea, and I do think it should be a thing, because there's no reason that owning a game means you can't access the core features. I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable to me. It's really cool, to be honest. Now I feel like I need to be going harder on it. I would say personally, you should try to strive to push the bar in some way. Whether that be your creativity, your technological capabilities, or your optimization. Any of those three. If you have less bugs than everybody else, that's pushing the bar in some way. If you have better art than everybody else, or a different style, a unique style, that's pushing the bar. If you have this new technology that makes the game different than everybody else, that is pushing the bar. If you can do at least one of those three things very well, ideally if you can do all three, although that's really hard to do, you are really setting yourself up for success, and you've made a really good game. It almost markets itself. My online and personal life are cooked. Business life is thriving. Hey, man, you gotta chop and choose sometimes, am I right? So roasting just makes sense for a fighter. That's true. But I am all for that movement, absolutely. I think, quite honestly, it bugs me. For example, a game that I really enjoy, Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? It's a great game, but I know one day EA is going to unplug the servers. And that bugs me. That bugs me a lot, because in order to play the game in its fullest extent, it's meant to be played online. They have offline modes for the game, but they're not the same modes as the online stuff. So either they need to add a capability for all the AI to fill in the player slots, because they almost have that, and then they just need to make it so that when you press multiplayer, unless you're connecting to a server of some sort, kind of like how Titanfall has player-run servers, unless you have access to that, it should just fill in with AI automatically. But they probably won't ever get around to that. My guess is if the stop killing games thing does pass, it'll just be one of those things where they'll say any game released from 5 years from now onward will have to follow this initiative. So it gives developers 5 years to finish their games before then, and then anybody that follows suit afterwards, they need to they'll need to follow the initiative. But I don't know how likely that is to work out. It's very unlikely we even see that happen within the US. I think it'll pass in the EU at some point, but for it to pass in the US is going to be a big deal, and it's going to take a lot of fighting. Let's see. Server seems to make sense. I'm working on a DBA of Spicy Records called Spicy Records Games. I want this to be like 2013 to 2017 Nintendo, gamers first, business second. Heck yeah, man. Love that. I like that. That's awesome. But yeah, the only reason for selling physical games, physical albums, etc., I want people to own it. If there was an error, we ask to recall, or we own a mistake. That's fair. That's awesome, dude, actually. I love selling physical games. I like that idea. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it for Omnia. But I do want somebody to be able to actually own it on disc. The thing about it though is my game is going to be so big it actually can't fit on the disc, and there's no way I could shrink it down enough. Plus it has to run off of SSD. But I do want to do that at some point. I think it'd be really cool. I think it would be one of those things where it's like, what, beyond your 50 gigabytes? If we're lucky. I mean, every system is going to be so intricate. And then on top of that, adding textures into the mix. I mean, I'm quite literally building a space life simulator set like 2,000 years from now, and every update only makes it larger. I'm wanting to do free updates. I want to follow the Minecraft system where we're polishing the game even more after launch. Like, we've given you a full product here, and my hope is when it reaches full release that, like, I don't even know what full release would look like yet, but it is going to be so awesome. But when you have things like, oh, well, we haven't added aliens yet, and I really want aliens in this game, that's a whole update in and of itself. And then I'm also going to migrate the game in a way so that when you go from one update to the next, it checks to see what was added, and it blends it into the story naturally. So in the case of aliens, the aliens show up mid playthrough at some point. There's like let's say a 1 in 10 chance every hour that the aliens will show up when you load up your game, or maybe more often than that, 1 in 2 chance. So 50% chance that it shows up every hour you play Omnia after the update. So that way, aliens will eventually show up. But when you load up a save file after the update, and you just create a blank canvas, aliens are already all over the galaxy. You know, they're just normal part of life. So each save file, even if it's like a really old save file, there's very unique things about it. Like, you know, let's say we wanted to pull Helldivers and have automatons, you know, like throw in a robot race, you know, having those show up and wreak havoc across the galaxy randomly would be way different than them just already wreaking havoc when you load in, because it's a different front that you're fighting there, which is really interesting. So that's like one of the really unique things I think we've got going for us in terms of Omnia, but it's a really tough thing to implement. I like that approach. I feel like sometimes paid $9.99 DLC for a new character that was planned to be there on release can be outrageous. Oh, absolutely. I hate the real-time strategy market. You look at any real-time strategy game. We were actually talking about this on Friday. you look at like Hearts of Iron, Civilization, Crusader Kings, things like that, where it's like, buy this one thing that was definitely planned for launch, but we saved it till now for, half the price of the game. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's just a bad idea. I despise that market. Yeah, I don't intend to do any DLCs for Omnia. Everything will be free, hopefully. If there is a DLC, it's going to be worthwhile. It's gonna be like, it's not gonna be something that should have been base game, but it's going to add so many features that feel like an expansion. It's a true expansion to the game beyond just like, oh, this should have been in the game by default. Like, why are we adding new vehicle types all of a sudden? That's not an expansion. That's an update right there. An expansion would be like, we added insert big number here of custom handmade quests within the universe, and it has, a theoretical 200-hour time on it. Hello, Raiders. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Let me get you some shout-outs. Kaz, how are you doing, dude? Shout-outs. You guys are playing some Metaphor. Nice, nice. You guys have already be sure to follow JustCause_live on Twitch. They're playing some Metaphor. Come on. Refantazio. I can speak. I can speak. I'm tired. That's fair. That's fair. Homie, if you need to head out, get some rest, raid and run, eat, drink, all the things, please feel free to do so. The game story is getting heavy. Ooh. We like some heavy story. Just like real life. We were playing Twitch SMP, but my OBS bitrate dropped for whatever reason while I was playing Minecraft. When I quit, it leveled out, so we're just waiting for a little bit while we let it balance. I will go get nom noms as I require sustenance. Please go take care of yourself. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. And enjoy your food. And thank you for the lurk. Appreciate it. Also, welcome on Innocent. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining in with the raid. Are we thinking $69.99 for the game? I feel like a planned infinite free updates would be worth the upfront price. With it being indie, I'm hesitant to do that. So early access is going to start us off with I'm gonna see if I can start with like a $30 price tag at most, and that's gonna be already a pretty big game for early access. And the hope is we're going to have clear and definite updates and goals to get us to a full release. And by full release, I'm hoping that we'll leave it off at $60 flat. I don't want to price anybody out of the game. But I also understand AAA games are now going for $90 base price, not even premium editions. And with me going in at 60, I mean, when the game's full release time, that may be a cheap game by all considerations. So, I haven't quite decided exactly what full price is going to be, but I do know we're going to do a staged system. So, early access first release, probably about $20 to $30. And then I'm going to have a clear goal for the next $10 increase. And I'm going to make it very clear to people like, hey, this update's coming out on insert time frame here. When that comes out the next week after that, when that comes out, we're going to do a price increase to $30. But also when I release the update, I'm also probably going to do like a game sale. So it's like you'll have you'll have like so let's say it goes from $10 to $20, you'd have a 50% off sale for the first week of that update. So it still stay 10, but people could see very clearly it is going to be 20 when that sale is over. Because I still want people to feel like if they're gonna miss it, they're gonna have that clear conscious choice that they missed buying the game at that earlier price. I'm not in it for the money necessarily, although making money for that game would be great because it would make me able to spend more time working on the game, but it is what it is. By the game's release time, money might not even be the main form of currency, JK. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Swiftu. See, 90? Nope, I'm just gonna buy PS2 and PS3 games and just stream those. Absolutely. I am very repelled by the prices of games nowadays. 70 is like fair, I guess, if you're intending to do a long-term live service. But even that makes me like want to vomit. And I spent a lot of money on Starfield, but that's why I'm making this game, really, is partially because of how Starfield went. I like the concept of Starfield, and I like Starfield as a game, but it just does not have the... It did not receive the post-launch support like they kind of claimed it would. Or at least they made it sound like it would. And I just can't get myself to love it as much as I want to. And I spent a lot of money on Starfield. So, that's saying a lot. That is really saying a lot. So I'm hoping to keep my game under that price limit, but still deliver a lot. Because let's say my game makes $1 million, Okay, that's great. That's wonderful, really. That's a very ambitious goal, but with the scope of the game and what we're planning for, I think it could make that much because it offers something to everybody. I think we'll probably, if we make $1 million, big things that I'm going to do, it's going to stay me for the most part. There might be some people I bring in to help with things, like if we want to revamp the music or if we want to bring in artists to do concerts. Not to be limited time concerts, but to be actual characters within the game that do concerts on random basis, so that money could go to that. I don't want to spend like all of my money on that, but it would be kind of interesting, like, oh, if we could have Imagine Dragons in the game or something like that. I don't know. That would be kind of funny, I guess. But having even just smaller artists, people that would be interested in being in it, I'd love to have them have a shot. But there's a lot of legal stuff that goes in with that as well, so it's kind of a problem. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do with Omnia. And with $1 million, it would give me enough time to sit there and go, yes, we can work on this now. I don't know. I'd have to slow down on streams and stuff probably, but I don't know. I would not hire anybody for the most part outside of things that I can't do. So if by then I go, okay, I want to work on the art because I don't do good with art anyway, and I want to make this look better, then, I'm going to have to hire somebody to do that. And that would probably cost me, at least 6 figures to redo all the art within the game. It would probably cost me about 100,000 just to start, to do everything I want to do. Because, there's a lot. And that would include future content as well. So, you'd have all your original stuff within the game, and then I'm like, okay, also I need you for all of these future updates really quick. So, like, could you go ahead and make insert alien designs here, and can you also make insert gun designs here and all this stuff beforehand, so I can go ahead and release that and then just keep them on standby for contracts because it would cost me a lot. Music is another thing, just in general, in-game ambient sounds and music. I've talked to some people about it, and I like what they do, but I've never actually heard anybody produce an ambient track when I ask about it. None of them have done ambient tracks before. And so one guy I really want to get in on it would be Scott Buckley. He makes some of the most beautiful music ever. I've heard his ambient tracks and his actual, like, background tracks for fight scenes and stuff. He does a great job, but my guess is he's probably a little more expensive. Let's see. $1 million coming your way. That's crazy. I just hit up my disc makers. Contact $2.31 or $2.39 per Blu-ray if I buy 2,000. Laser printing, box art, all the works. Dang. $199 per disc for 10,000. Maybe if you need a composer for 60 tracks on me. Dang, dude. I'll let you know. Do you see yourself retiring from streams or just for a little bit, just focus on the game? Probably at some point. But that's only if like videos start doing better. I have always seen myself as a streamer first. And that's what I really like to do. But videos are a little more evergreen. And so that would at least protect me a little bit longer if I kept making videos. So I could spend a lot more time in the background working on the game. But I don't know is the truth. It just depends. Like right now, with how up in the air everything is, if I end up with a job like I'm hoping to, I've got to figure out the schedule, which is gonna be weird because right now, with everything kind of seemingly coming to a close all at the same time, it's gonna leave me with no series going on, and then I gotta try to also juggle the fact that I've got a job on top of that, on top of trying to make a game, on top of doing videos and all this stuff. It's gonna be crazy, but it's a prison of my own creation. I really want to hire Gustavo Santalolo, and I know who he is. I've said his name before. Gustavo. There we go. Yeah, that's who I thought he was. I know this face. What does he do? The Book of Life. I do. Oh, The Last of Us Part 2? Okay. Yeah, it's just The Last of Us in general. This guy would be amazing. That guy would be amazing to have on the project. Jeez. I saw myself a streamer, then a music producer, then a record label owner, and now I don't know what I am. Fair enough. It's crazy. Life changes us a lot. Oh yeah, it definitely costs a lot. My guess is he probably charges by the minute, maybe even by the second for tracks. When you go low dollar artists, they just charge by the track. Then you've got people who charge by the minute for each track. Then you got people who charge by the second. And that's like a whole other tier. Sometimes you can get deals, so if you're like trying to make a whole game, then they'll do deals based on how many tracks you need, but it still ultimately will end up coming down to how long each track is. Omnia is gonna be cool. I can't wait. I really want to work on that tonight, but I can't. I need to finish my Q&A video. There's something else I'm supposed to be working on. Oh! Yes, I need to work on King SMP stuff. Because let's just check the results of the poll so far. Yeah, the poll right now is 13-3 in favor of ending season 3. So more than likely we will be ending season 3 in September. So I got to start planning the ending and all that stuff, which is going to be kind of crazy. Let's see. The game idea is a rapid onset dystonic man and his best friend escaping jail in a Resident Evil Last of Us type world. That's awesome. That sounds awesome, dude. Do I get a question for the Q&A video? Probably not this time around, but maybe eventually. This time around, I didn't get any questions. I've already recorded the video. I just gotta finish editing, and that's hard because it's like 25 minutes long right now. So I'm trying to shorten it down to 20. We'll see if that works out or not. Also, I am so sorry for the lag, Twitch. You guys deserve better. My ISP hates me. Okay. Ads are gonna be starting soon anyway, and I don't know what else to say after this necessarily, but I will I will eventually at some point need to end. I'm kind of thinking I just end before the ads while the internet's still working. Yeah, probably. Okay. Twitch, we're gonna find somebody to raid, and YouTube, let's just see if there's anybody to raid, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. Let's just find that first. Customization, redirect. Yeah, I don't know anyone that's live right now. Okay, that's fine. I really need to know when you're gonna gamble your Twitch. One day you'll know. One day. That's what the Twitch people get for being on Twitch. JK, all love. Yeah, darn Twitch people. You get lag. That's what you get. All right, YouTube. I guess this is where we're gonna end. Sorry that it's kind of laggy. But does YouTube have raids now? Yeah, they call it redirects. They can redirect like premieres and different live streams that you're subscribed to, but it's kind of like a pain in the butt to do. So I don't find new people, but I will raid people if I know them. But yeah, they have a raid feature sort of. But YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. It means a lot to me. I'll be seeing you guys on Thursday again. When we're back on Twitch SMP probably. Before long, we'll probably only be doing only King SMP streams on YouTube because we gotta finish our base. So we'll see. Is there anything about YouTube not having raids? I'm sorry, at YouTube, I don't know why I put that. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. They're here now. That's all that matters. All right. Bye-bye, YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go. And Twitch, while the internet is still good, thank you for submitting your taxes, Admiral. I appreciate it. We're gonna find a raid. I'm sorry. I am so sorry that the lag is happening. Unfortunately, I can't stop it, but what I can do is send you somewhere that doesn't have lag. Hopefully. Be live. Looks like he's gonna be live for a little bit too. All right. We're gonna go raid Delta. It's been a little bit since we've been able to say hi to Delta. They're playing Thrive, Heavy Lies the Crown, and they're a pretty cool person. They raid over here a decent amount too, so it'd be good to go support them. They are marked as intended for mature audiences, so if that's something that's important to you, then maybe sit out of this raid. But if it's no big deal, then go ahead, hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way, and I will hopefully be seeing you guys tomorrow when we're back on Stardew Valley. We may be finishing the game very soon, so we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and I'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.